feels fresh and spontaneous. You know, the spirit of surrealism and Dadaism, in my mind at least, is that, you know, that unpredictability, and instead of doing this one obvious thing, you decide to do this other thing. And even though it might seem awkward or like a bad decision artistically or whatever, I like making what would be considered bad decisions, you know. And then, you know, with the stage show, you know, that plays a part as well, you know, with certain characters that we have and how they're interacting, and it's basically just like comedy, you know, just kind of surreal comedy, and the playfulness is important to me. But, you know, sometimes it can be helpful to create an alter ego, because then you can bring certain aspects of your psyche to the surface in a way that you feel comfortable with, you know, that you don't have to feel self-conscious about or whatever, because you can always say like, oh, it's not me, it's just the alter ego that's saying that or doing that or singing that or whatever. But as of late, I just sort of, I don't really need that crutch, you know, I'm just gonna stand on my own and face the world, whatever. If you're hiding behind some wall, you know, because you're afraid of exposing yourself to the world, then number one, it's not really going to help you. I mean, I feel like so much what I do, music that I make, is sort of therapy. You know, it helps me deal with the demons or whatever. And they need to be faced, and they need to be expressed, and they need to be exposed. Well, yeah, the last tour that we did, it was definitely more anthemic, and it was more of a party. And like you said, the energy was really high all the time. And then to be honest, I got kind of a little bit bored with that, and I wanted to do something a little bit different. It's still, you know, not completely low-key and boring, but just because we have so many different kinds of songs, and there's so many different aspects of Montreal. It's not just party time all the time, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of songs that are a little bit slower, a little bit more introspective. So with this tour, I wanted to kind of just present all the different faces of Montreal. But I'm proud of it. I'm happy. I'm really happy with it, and especially the kind of longer, weirder songs, you know, that I think are more, they're just interesting to me, just because it's something new, you know, something different, something I didn't really imagine I would ever make. You know, especially like 10 years ago when I was making music, I wouldn't think that I'd be at this point.
Which part? What?
I travel enough that I get inspiration from that, and then when I come home, I just want to kind of immerse myself in my own creative place, you know, and not worry about the outside world, not think about anything else, and just get lost in the creative process. Athens, Georgia is a great place to be if you're trying to develop something slowly, you know, and you don't need outside influences, you don't need that much outside stimulation, because it's very slow. It's a slow town, nothing happening really, and it's affordable. So REM was cool, just so you could see like, oh no, you can do it on a more grassroots level, and you know, of course they were on a major label, but there's so many other bands too from Athens, you know, like the whole Elephant Six Collective, you know, bands like Olivia Tremor Control, Nature Milk Hotel, and Elf Power. You know, they're still working, still putting out records. Well, I guess Nature Milk Hotel's not really, but then there's also all these new bands coming up too in Athens, you know, so there's always like this great stream of new energy, you know, people coming in and contributing to the scene. this tour, so just more visual. My brother David and my wife Nina did all the animations, and then Nick, our video guy, who's here with us tonight as well, he figured out a way to create all the projectable spaces and you know, figured out how to work the software, you know, for us to be able to do it. So everyone within the group has to do different things and sort of learn how to do things, teach themselves how to do things, you know. So if someone has a vision, that we can realize that vision, but we don't really bring that many people from the outside to help us. We do pretty much everything just within our little group. So basically it's a really special experience that I don't take for granted, you know, that I get to travel with my friends and have these incredible experiences that I dreamed about having when I was a teenager, you know, and now I get to do it. And I'm in Barcelona right now, and I feel so blessed, you know, it's fantastic.